So let's move on now to like the main event. This is something we're super excited about. So you want to give the background here? Or you want me to give the background here?
I will collect all of the items we need. Why don't you get going?
There you go.
Yep.
So as all of you recall, this is the Starlette. Starlette introduced us to a whole new level of extract making. We knew that you could, mix your beans. You could mix like an Indonesian or a Madagascar to have like a creamy and a smoky, or a Mexican with like a Tongan, and then you have kind of like a spicy cocoa with maybe a little bit of a fruity hint. But Starlette started experimenting with cocoa nibs and coffee beans and all sorts of other wonderful things. So this is the Starlette that we made last time. It is a 16-ounce bottle. It has Bacardi Gold rum, so it's rich, warm, and sweet. It has 2 ounces of, 1 ounce is Indonesian, 1 ounce is Madagascar vanilla beans. So this is like PhD level extracting. And then we put in 1 cup of coffee beans.
It smelled so wonderful.
Yes, the coffee beans, just by themselves, smelled amazing.
With the vanilla, it was just, you can tell it's going to be wonderful.
It's when we were putting it all in, yep. And so we're gonna crack this open, and what we're gonna do now is the coffee beans have been in for quite a while, 5 weeks. The coffee beans should overpower the vanilla beans, and let's make sure that that is the case. I believe that it is. Oh my gosh, it's still pretty amazing. So one of the first things that I smell is a really strong coffee scent, like we thought we would, and the alcohol's still pretty strong. In fact, vanilla is probably the thing I smell the least as I'm doing this.
And that's the reason why you only leave the coffee beans in for a month.
That's exactly the reason. So we're gonna, and we're like 1 week late. So we're gonna pull those coffee beans out, and then we're going to replace them with our cocoa nibs to add the chocolate part of the Mocha. And then we're gonna close it back up for another month. So to do that, it's very simple. What we do is we take a strainer and a measuring cup, and we actually practiced with a other run just to make sure we had this down correctly. We're gonna do it a little bit at an angle here so I can pour it through. And we're gonna dump all of that extract out. And you'll see we used a bottle that was fairly wide on top, and the reason we did that is just for this reason. We wanted to make sure with all of the different ingredients that were going in, we wanted to make sure that we could easily get them out. And so we used a wide opening bottle. We'll set those down now. And now what we've got to do, we washed our hands right before we started. We take all of our beans, and Starlette, this is another one of her tricks. She ties the beans in a knot so that they stay submerged. So if the alcohol evaporates, comes down a little bit, whatever it is, they make sure that the beans are all whole.
You still have the caviar.
And so you still have the caviar, and then you've just tied that little knot that you can see there to make the beans short. So we're just gonna put those vanilla beans in. There we go. And then we are going to take the coffee beans, and we're just gonna put them in the garbage. Now Starlette probably right now is like, don't throw those away. I bet there's a use.
Yeah, definitely.
And Starlette, you'll have to let us know what that is, but I bet there's a use, and we just haven't figured it out yet. So now, with the coffee beans out, we've got our original vanilla beans. Now we're gonna add the cocoa nibs.
You want to talk a little bit
Let's
about
talk about cocoa nibs. So we got these at Whole Foods. I showed them last time. They're Peruvian cocoa nibs. You can buy them. I think these were like $12 for 10 ounces, $12, $13. They were on sale. So there they are. So we went and picked them up.
And this is what they actually looked like up close.
So when you look at a cocoa bean, they actually grow in a fruit. You have to crack open the fruit. Inside, you've got these big almond-sized beans that have to be harvested outside of this sort of white covering. It almost looks like garlic. You roast them, and then you grind them, and then you have the pure cocoa nib. So this is pre-measured for a cup, is that correct?
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and just put that in. I'm going to use my hand to kind of hold it. And we're going to fill, in fact, you probably just dump it.
Well, I don't know
You think?
about that.
Maybe not. Maybe that opening's too big. Okay.
Yeah, you just
Oh.
keep, he's good at talking, just keep talking.
I'm the talking head in the family.
He really is the talker.
And so we're just going to drop these in. And by the way, they smell absolutely amazing. Like rich, real, pure cocoa to add to the vanilla. So
and the coffee.
Oh,
like, that coffee smell with the chocolate.
Yeah, it smells wonderful. So we're gonna fill quite a bit of this.
We're almost there.
Almost there. And then we may have, as I'm looking at this, it's gonna be very interesting where, again, this is the first time we've done this. We'll see how much room we have. We may need a bigger bottle. See, so we're making mistakes with you if that's the case. Let's see how it all fills in. Do you need the funnel?
Oh yeah, that might be helpful.
Let's use a funnel. Oh, you've got it already. So we're gonna start filling it all in. Oh, this absolutely looks amazing. Okay. So stop there, stop.
Yep.
Yep. So we are, boy, it's really shy, but we are just a little bit shy. So we overfilled the first time, and now we filled it all the way to the top. We have just a little bit left over. We're going to go ahead and cap this, and maybe we'll put it in another jar a little bigger, but I think we'll have to figure out a use for that.
We get a lot of emails and questions on what happens when I put all my beans in. Aren't I going to displace all of my alcohol?
Mhm.
Right? We get tons of emails about that. This
It's a
is
perfect
exactly
example.
what happens. So, and you know, there's so little here that I think we're going to be fine.
Mhm.
But if there were more,
We'd take maybe a smaller bottle and fill it up as well and try to get the most use out of it. But in this case, you can see now the cocoa nibs are in there. The alcohol itself is full of the coffee taste because it's the same alcohol the coffee beans were in. And now we're going to let that just sit and marinate for another month. And we're going to come back a month from now. We're going to take all those cocoa nibs out, and the cocoa nibs, and then we're going to finalize the extract.
and then the extract will just sit for another 10 months.
Another 10
And
months.
then we'll be ready to try
And
it.
because it's going to be really close to Christmas that this one is ready, and we
Yeah,
might just
not be able
have
to
to
help
cheat a
ourselves.
little bit and try. And Starlette, maybe we just need to have you come out and you can teach us how to properly cook with this extract. That's what we need to do.
Oh, I just think you could just, oh my goodness, do so much with that.
Absolutely.
Mocha
So,
chocolate?
so there we go. So there's the update from our last party. We're going to